Jest jeszcze jedna rzecz, do której muszę wrócić, a mianowicie jest to pojęcie horyzontu, którego tak lubią też używać płaskoziemcy. No i wiadomo, że na naszej kuli ziemskiej, z uwagi na to, że ona jest po prostu zakrzywiona, jakby w dół cały czas, musimy patrzeć na horyzont w dół, tak? Chociaż nie widzimy tego, bo po prostu ze względu na rozmiary Ziemi tak wielkie, że wydaje nam się, że patrzymy w dal, a tak naprawdę patrzymy w dół, bo Ziemia jest kulą.
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible. And you can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly. Like, we'd have way better CGI if it was fake.
Put the dump valve all the way to the rear. Put the dump valve all the way to the rear. There it is. The door stop, Felix.
Door is open, door stop is engaged.
Okay, item 26. Move seat to the rear of capsule. Okay, item 29. Release seat belt. Item 32. Verify cutaway knife handle strap is attached and knife in proper position. Okay, stow umbilical. Disconnect both oxygen supply hoses. Okay, are they disconnected? Give me a thumbs up if they're disconnected. They're still connected.
To powiedzcie mi, drodzy płaskoziemcy, i widać to tutaj na filmie, tak właśnie działa horyzont. Gdzie jest wasz horyzont? Jeżeli Ziemia byłaby płaska i chciałbym coś zobaczyć, to miałbym nieograniczone możliwości. W waszym poglądzie pseudonaukowym nie powinno być w ogóle pojęcia horyzont.
Hello, flat earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. One of the most obvious and easily observable facts of life by anyone with a pair of eyes is that when we look across the Earth's surface, no matter how high or low we are above that surface, we always see the horizon at our eye level. That is the midway point between the top and the bottom of our field of view when we are looking straight ahead and we have a view as far as we can physically see, which isn't really that far at all. But this is where defenders of the globe and anti-flat earthers have to go into outright denial mode. They have to deny that perspective is a thing because of this idea that what we see in front of us is curvature of the globe Earth, rather than it being an optical phenomenon that we know is the law of perspective, without which we wouldn't be able to do things like driving or throwing basketballs in hoops and many other daily activities that involve this understanding of depth of field with perspective at play with everything we do. And this is where the excuses come thick and fast, and they become quite ridiculous as people try to deny that perspective is a thing and that the horizon is always at our eye level. They will come up with fractions of drop at the horizon in efforts to claim that we are seeing curvature in front of us. But in fact, if you think about how our field of view expands over distance, yet it also contracts due to perspective the further we are seeing, we should in fact see curvature on the horizontal across our field of view from left to right, because what we are actually seeing in the distance is usually part of the surface which is maybe 100 to 300 miles across, yet we cannot see that far in front of us. So we should in fact be seeing some kind of curvature at the horizon on the horizontal. when the claim is, of course, that we are seeing curvature in front of us because we get what appears to be this kind of ledge as we look across the surface of the Earth, especially when we are looking across water and we are quite close to the surface. We get this very distinct line, and depending on the conditions we will also get some mirroring which appears on the surface up to the observer's eye level. But we know that the surface is not bulging in front of us because it's not going above eye level, and we know that it's not dropping away in front of us because it's not going below eye level, and it's not curving down between us and the horizon. It is actually appearing to rise up like a wall of the surface. We know this is an optical phenomenon, and this is how the flat earther comes to understand that we are on a flat earth and not a globe, because we understand that horizons have nothing to do with any kind of imagined curvature, yet perspective has been ignored and replaced with this idea of curvature. Perspective is the imaginary curve, and the moment that you accept that perspective is a thing which makes a flat surface appear to rise to our eye level, then you have to go along with the realization that we are in fact on a flat plane. We are not on a globe. This really is the crux of one of the many issues surrounding the flat earth, but it is one of those things that we all instinctively know, yet the defender of the globe will instinctively deny is a thing. As a last resort, defenders of the globe will talk about this apparent drop in the horizon when we are very high above the surface. But what we can observe is that when we are down low, we see a very distinct horizon, and this line is usually the start of the mirroring on the surface, and this is what will happen on a flat surface. It will go on infinitely, of course, but there is a limit to how far we can see across that surface from a low level, and the higher we get, the less distinct that horizon becomes. It gets more blurry, and we get a lot of whiteness and a less clearly defined horizon. But this, of course, is then called a horizon drop and is considered by defenders of the globe as proof that we are looking across a globe. But again, the idea that we are looking down, curvature, can be and has been debunked many, many times, and as we've just mentioned, the fact that the field of view from left to right is usually much, much wider across than the view we have in front of us, yet we never ever see any equivalent curvature. And so this is where the cognitive dissonance kicks in with the anti-flat earther as they try to justify this apparent drop in front of us, saying that we are looking down a curve while not being able to see a curve from left to right. Again, completely ignoring perspective and pretending that it doesn't exist. Perspective. Here is another illustration of perspective with the squares apparently similar sizes and distances apart, getting closer and closer together and converging in the distance at the horizon line, coming up from the surface and down from the sky to meet in the middle. And we can see that eventually everything just becomes so compact and condensed that we really cannot make out any detail, and this is the vanishing point. This is the limit of our vision, regardless of the size or shape of the Earth. But this is still not a true representation of how we see the world from our Earth-based perspective, low to the surface. It should be something more like this. Here the surface remains the same from our Earth-based perspective, regardless of the size or shape of the Earth, and the surface will always rise up almost to the
midway level of our field of view, and the top half then consists of sky. And we can see here that the sky is much broader. We can see a lot more of the sky than we can of the surface. We can't see below or beyond the surface, but the sky is transparent, so we just see a lot deeper into that top half of the field of vision that we have. So we just see here that the Earth, regardless of its flatness or rotundness, is simply blocking the bottom half of our vision and bringing detail up to us right in front of our eyes, whereas the sky is a lot more of a deeper field of view, or in the top half of our field of view.
Jeżeli sądzicie, że woda jest pozioma, czyli nie ma żadnego zakrzywienia, to przez wodę, proszę Państwa, mógłbym zobaczyć z brzegu jednego kontynentu brzeg drugiego kontynentu. A jeśli nawet nie brzeg, bo by mi tam atmosfera coś tam zasłaniało, czy inne te wszystkie brednie, o których mówicie, to przynajmniej, nie wiem, jakieś wysokie budynki z Brazylii na przykład bym mógł zobaczyć. Będąc w Afryce, to mógłbym zobaczyć wysokie budynki w Brazylii, gdzieś tam przy brzegu, przecież są tam takie budynki, prawda? Ograniczone pole widzenia, czy coś tam, nie, to jest nieprawda. Choćbyście się to nic na to nie macie. Nic na to nie macie i statki się chowają za horyzontem i mogę wam przesłać tutaj tysiące zdjęć udowadniających, że statki się chowają za horyzontem, a horyzont wynika tylko i wyłącznie z zakrzywienia Ziemi, z niczego więcej.
I wish I was on yonder hill, 'tis there I'd sit and cry my fill, until every tear would turn a mill.
Słuchajcie, nieźle się uśmiałem oglądając te wszystkie filmy z tym głupkiem, kurwa, na internecie. Nie zamierzam tracić waszego cennego czasu, więc przejdę od razu do rzeczy. Jesteś dla mnie, kurwa, zwykłym lamusem. Jesteś jak ta tandetna chińska, taka małpka, kurwa, wypchana, bujająca się na tej gumce, kurwa, na zwykłym odpustowym kramie. Ja przechodząc obok mogę co najwyżej się, kurwa, pośmiać na głos z ciebie, bo to, kurwa, jest śmieszne, nie? A ty dalej się, kurwa, bujaj tam na tym pajacu, na tej, kurwa, gumce i próbuj wciskać ciemnotę tym ludziom o tym, że ten twój kram to jest cały świat, a ty jesteś jego pierdolonym mesjaszem. Widzę, że popierdoliło ci się nieźle, kurwa, tutaj pod sufitem.
Nie pozwól, żeby ktoś coś miał na ciebie zgubny wpływ. Bierz przykład z tych, co uważasz ich za mądrych. Serce i dusza musi być szczera. Twój czas, teraz ty wybierasz.